Pandemonium Reigns.
Football time in Tennessee, baby. Let's go. Here to talk Tennessee. Here to talk Tennessee Chattanooga. Listen, this one's going to be, as far as our OrangeCast goes, probably one of our shorter OrangeCasts. But there's a couple things that we want to talk about here. Not going to measure this thing by the scoreboard. Really talking about the things that what I believe most people are not looking at, right? Unless you're a Tennessee fan, like you know the names and whatnot. I want to dig into this a little bit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Dan. He's Mike. This is Pandemonium Reigns. This is Tennessee Football Volunteers hosting University of Tennessee Chattanooga Moccasins. I believe we've got a 12:45 kickoff.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I don't know what the deal is with that start time, but here we are.
Yes. We've got a spread of 38.5. We've got an over-under of 56.5. Okay, so Vegas has an opinion, and it's written right there in black and white for you.
Yep.
But here's what we know about UTC. Top 10 FCS program. But the key word there is FCS program.
Yep.
We're an SEC big boy. So I don't really want to go through position by position, and nor do I want to be cliche here.
Yeah.
All right. When I ask you this question, what do you want to see? Don't say Nico.
Dang it. Freaking stole my answer. I quit. No. I
what
want
is it that you're looking for, man?
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the trenches because we've been waiting to see that D-line flex. Look, okay, actually, I was going to say they're about to. But if Chattanooga's smart, they'll protect their quarterback, getting the ball out immediately. They will run misdirections, things like that, to not get guys obliterated at the point of attack by the defensive line. But more so, I'm excited to see that all year long. But if it's anything like last year, we'll see teams get it out quick, protect their guys, try to pick up 3, 4, just enough to move the chain when you do that a couple of times, 3 times there, and keep the ball moving down the field. But I'm excited for this offensive line, man. We talked about it when we previewed the team. Lance Hurd, huge piece, huge NIL transfer portal addition. We know it. I'm excited to see the young guys once Tennessee does have a comfortable margin late in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. Give me some Bennett Warren, give me some Satterwhite, give me some Gage Ginther at center. Show me who it's going to be. Give me some Sham, dude. I want to see some Sham Umarov, man. I think he's battling. I think he's going to be one of those guys in the next couple of years. So, but also, I want to see the first team be road graders, be maulers, because yes, we know that Chattanooga is a top 10 FCS program. They've also been really good in that area. They've been really, for where they are, they've been pretty admirable in the trenches on the defensive side, especially. Got a couple guys in the NFL, out of their work that they've done there. So let's not fool around here. Let's move them off the ball, move them back as much as you can. Giving time for Nico. We're not fiddling around like we did with Austin Peay last year, by the way. Chattanooga beat Austin Peay last year, as Tennessee did. So, and they did it a little bit cleaner and better than Tennessee did. So again, no fooling around. Let me see the offensive line, especially the youngsters, because that's what we're going to be thinking about as the season progresses. Once we think long term, who's going to be blocking for Nico behind some of these guys that are out of eligibility. But it's the trenches for me in this game, man. I'm not expecting a ton of flash, or like Hopples ran the score up a couple times. If you think Connecticut, if you think UT Martin over the Ty Simpson sweepstakes a couple years ago in 2022, I don't think that's what we're going to see. I think we're just going to see a football game unless somebody decides to take it chippy, and whether it's a player in orange or a player in white and gold and blue. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see the nitty gritty for this game as much as we can.
Okay, good stuff. So the trenches were one thing that I was going to talk about. I want to, and I will piece these two things together. The biggest thing that I want to see is us not playing with our food.
Yeah.
I respect the opponent. I don't care what the brand or logo is. Respect the opponent and dominate.
Yeah.
Don't do this thing where you think you can roll the ball out and expect to win. Don't do that. Don't play with your food. Hang 90 if you can. I do not care. I do not care. I told you not to say Nico. but I'm going to say Nico, but not say Nico. Here's what I
Yeah,
mean by that. When you have the respectable lead, how long does he play? I'm really curious this because he's done some things in years past where you thought the next guy was about to come in and it didn't happen. He'll
yeah,
ride that starter. Does he do that to help Nico prepare for NC State just to get more game time to play in front of, 100 plus thousand? I want to see how he manages that. I want to see how fast we go on offense. Do we get back to 2022? Do we pace down like 2023, like we did with Joe? I'm really curious to see that. I don't really want to. Here's the cliche thing. I don't really want to see 3 and outs because I want to be able to see the tempo. I want to
yeah.
know how fast are we going to go? How quick are these deliveries? How quick are the calls? Which, in that nutshell, I want to see how Heupel and Nico use this speaker in the headset situation or speaker in the helmet situation. How do we use that? Do we default back to signs just to know that we have that in our back pocket, for when we travel to a place like Georgia or whatever. So a couple of things there that I want to see. Let me ask you this.
All right.
If you're running this program, you're running this ship for the weekend, Heupel has, he's on vacation.
Okay.
You're calling this thing.
All right.
How much are you putting on film?
I think if I were a coach, I would be the top to lean towards putting stuff on film that you have to then address. I don't think I would be like, if we can win this game playing, the A gap and just diving, and I'm not doing that because I want my guys to work through those plays. I want to know, hey, is this something that actually works? Does my quarterback see this well? How does the receiver run that route? And now 11 teams plus have to prepare for whatever you show them. That's the way I would lean. I would also be, you touched on this, but I think like we saw in the past, and perhaps we saw it with Milton because Nico was behind him. Perhaps we saw it with Hooker because Milton was behind him. I don't think it's going to be the case this year, man. It's Gaston Moore, it's Jake Merklinger, and then it's real, real grim if you get quarterbacks hurt this year. I don't think we'll be doing much of that. I think I think this really could be if Tennessee executes one drive in the third quarter, 2 drives at most, just to make sure that the gas pedal isn't lifted coming out of a half by the player, not by the staff or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you'll see probably at most. Hoping for it at least, because again, it just gets grimmer and grimmer the further you go down the quarterback room this year. Whereas you had again Milton or Nico on the bench in years past, I don't think you play with that situation this year.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But I can on this conversation, I can see why, if you have a lead going in the half, if it's comfortable going in the half, you come out with Gaston Moore in the third quarter just because the guy's been faithful to you.
Yeah.
He's shown no sign of transferring out. And some of you might say, well, why in the world, where would he go? He could play for a lot of FCS programs, play for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Truth be told, am I concerned if Nico gets hurt? Yes. But all is not lost if it's Gaston Moore. I don't like it. I don't love it, but we know he knows this thing inside and out. Okay. So there's that. And I'm with you, man. I am putting some things on film. It's almost as if you were setting up NC State for the following week. Put some things on film, make them defend it, do something else with it, if that makes sense. If that makes sense.
It does.
All right. So let's talk freshmen for a second.
Boom.
Exciting freshman class that's coming in. Big names, Mike Matthews, Boo Carter. Who are you excited to see the most?
I'm fighting between those two pretty strongly. I'm also fighting some Peyton Lewis off because he just doesn't look like your average freshman running back with his build and his speed. I think ultimately it's Boo Carter because I'm not going to go there, but I think when he picks off a pass that you're going to have a tough time keeping him from gaining 15 to 50 yards, frankly.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable with the football in his hands. It's amazing that within a 4-year time frame, we're to the point where an athlete like that can play defense. And I think he's really good on defense. I'm not saying that he should be on offense, but it's amazing that we're already to that point where we can, not need him on offense. I'm excited as I'll get out to see Mike Matthews, but and the staff has alluded to doing things differently with the receiver rotations. Until they do that, I don't think we're going to see a lot of Mike Matthews throughout this season when it's crunch time. Anytime that we get to see him, I'm elated for it. I love his upside, but for me, it's Boo Carter, man. I think he's going to be really dang good, and someone that you have to kind of go away from with how athletic he is, especially if he gets his hand on the ball and brings it in. You can't let that happen if you're your opponent. So for me, it's Boo, and we'll kind of see from there.
Yeah, I think there's only one right answer to this question, and I think it is Boo, just because of the situation. I mean, the other one, comparably, Mike Matthews, but we know how much farther he is down on that depth chart.
Yeah.
Boo Carter probably starting. I mean, now don't get me wrong, Heupel's got oars all over his depth chart. I think I counted 34, 35, something like that. It's just pure insanity.
It is, but I don't think Clemson and Georgia were so bold to even put out a depth chart. So let's not,
well,
that's why he does it. That's why he does it.
There you go.
Also, Christian Harrison and Boo Carter is like one of the few applicable oars. Like it could be either guy.
Yes.
Most guys are going to play.
Yes.
So,
that's where I was going to go after I answered Boo Carter. Like, I'm real excited to see Christian Harrison.
Same here. Yeah.
Real excited to see Christian Harrison.
This was one of the few questions I had for you was which newcomer. I was even going to throw it out if you wanted to go Stays or Hurd or if you wanted to go McCoy on defense, Jermod, which newcomer were you most excited to see? I was curious about the freshman, but man, I think if you asked me that question, a player that wasn't on this team last year, I think it's Boo Carter, man, because and I know the secondary is still a little lot on bodies, but if he's pushing for starting time as a true freshman, then I think that's nothing but indicative of how good he's going to be.
Yeah, and if you're going to ask me the newcomer question, that one's simple. It's the secondary.
Perfectly said. I mean, some of those guys were on the team, to my point, but we didn't see them. So I'm here for it.
So names like Jermod McCoy, I'm real excited to see those transfers at the safety spot. Obviously, super excited to see Christian, how they rotate him in if he gets snaps and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there to say that I want to see. One last question here that I can think of is what is the win come Saturday, and how is success over UTC going to be measured?
I think there's a few directions you can go with this. It needs to be a few things for me. One of would be good. If you did them all, you'd be borderline great. Clean routes, clean separation, much better wide receiver play. I don't care the opponent because I'll just point you back to Austin Peay last year where it was garbage. The whole game was garbage. Throw it out. It never happened. I'd point you to offensive line for some of the same reasons and some of the questions that we've already had, making sure there's no leaks that are going to be having Nico running. Now, I like him running. I know how good he can be running, but we don't. That's not what we're going to do. That's not what we're going to choose to do to beat anybody. That's what we're going to be doing if we have to do it. So that I would go that direction. And I had one more, and it's gone. So I'm gonna flip this back on you. Oh no! I know what it is. And this one I am going to use Nico for. It needs to be 68, 70, 72% because the work is going to be limited in terms of it's not going to be for 60 minutes of football. And this is not North Carolina State. This is not Iowa that you made your debut against. This is Chattanooga. I need it to be clean. I need the ball to be on time and accurate. I need you to show me just some glimpses of why you are who you were. And I think 68, 70%, anything above that obviously would be a nice little indication in your first start against, again, in front of 100,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think your biggest win is if you can get starters out and you can get guys who are probably going to redshirt significant time in one of their 4 games.
Yes, this is a perfect one for that.
Give them a good half,
Yeah.
And I do think it's a win-win if starters, I don't want to say late in the game, but are playing, third-ish quarter just because, it's game 1 of the season. NC State's right around the corner. My preference says get them out. Let's let some young guns, get some action. Secondly, what I want to see, or what I would say how success is measured is I think the big plays are going to happen. I think just because of the talent gap and bigger, faster, stronger, whatever. But I would love to see drives put together.
Sure.
March it down.
Yeah.
Defensively, if we say, for example, we get them in a 3rd and 12 situation, they convert. I want to see us get pissed off and shut it down.
Yeah.
Almost as if, conversion on their end does some good for us.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So those are things that I would like to see. I want to see domination in the trenches, like we've already mentioned. I want to see us play fast. And I don't necessarily mean tempo. I mean less thinking.
Yeah.
Like I want to see it go. I mean, we're talking about year number 4 in this Tim Bakes defensive scheme. Like, let's go fast. I would like to see more rotation at safety. Interested to see all those things at corner. I think rotating a lot of bodies is going to be a win for us. If you get a hot hand, that's a lack of better words on the defensive side. If you get a group of guys that's playing well, do you rotate them just to see what else you got?
Yeah.
So a lot there, man. UTC, there's no pushover. I mean, it's a respectable FCS program, and we're not just saying that because we're Chattanooga natives. But there's no reason why this shouldn't be one-sided.
Yeah, there's really no reason why Tennessee shouldn't threaten to cover that really big number that I believe is 38 and a half. Is that right? There's no reason Tennessee shouldn't threaten to cover that, to push the over, carry that.
I usually pull this up, but for this one,
same, dude. I'm guilty. Sorry, guys. I'm guilty.
Where is that?
Slacker.
12. This is bad.
12:45, man. Start time.
Yeah.
Why are we 12:45?
We've got a 38.5 point spread.
Yeah. There's no reason Tennessee shouldn't threaten to cover that, and there's no reason Chattanooga should score 14 points. I'll give you 13. Sure. There's no reason they should score 14 points.
Sure. Last thing I want to see before we go, and it's in our control. I want Neyland on fire.
Amen, brother. Oh, dude, it's gonna be on fire.
I want it bumping at 1:00 in the afternoon. I want it bumping.
Gonna be on fire
late into the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This has been OrangeCast talking Tennessee, playing host to the UTC Mocs. Make sure you tune into that one, even if you're not a Tennessee fan. We are a team to watch out for. Okay, here's to hoping that Notre Dame loses come Saturday, because we're probably going to be in that battling them for that 12th seed in the playoffs come season end. So go Vols, go Aggies. Yeah. So hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate it so much. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'm Dan. He's Mike. God bless. Go Vols.
GBO.
Pandemonium Reigns.